And welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Laura Jones alongside Gerald D'Ambria, and we have a former teacher who is looking to promote pride and self-esteem in children of color with her handcrafted dolls. Aniqua Wilkerson is the founder of My Kinda Thing. She's also teaming up with Carlstadt-based yarn company to create dolls of all different skin tones. Aniqua Wilkerson joins us now, along with Shira Blumenthal from the Lion Brand Yard Company. Oh, that's a mouthful. Ladies, it's so nice to see you.
So nice to see you too. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Aniqua, I want to start with you. First, am I pronouncing your name right?
You're absolutely pronounced.
Okay, very good, very good. Well, let's talk about the idea. How did you get this idea?
So I've been making dolls for years, about 8 years. I used to teach early childhood education. And I noticed that in the early childhood education classroom, the pretend play area is where children, they mimic, life at home and how they're treated. And I noticed that the dolls in that section were not very reflective of who they were. Um, and it kind of gave me like an idea to kind of create dolls that look more like, real people, little people. And I just decided I think it would be really, really great if they were able to see more diversity in this little space. And um, I just wanted to do a better job of representing.
I love these. Sometimes when you look at older dolls, they're kind of creepy looking, right? And these, they're so happy. They're so happy and beautifully handcrafted. So, what kind of feedback are you getting, or what do you hope? What messaging are you hoping that the young people, that the children, are going to get when they have one of your dolls?
Well, I think there is something to be said about when a child sees a doll that I've made and they're like, oh my gosh, that looks like me. That's a huge deal because I remember growing up, I didn't have dolls that looked like me. It was always a different hair texture or style. The skin wasn't actually, a match. And some occasions, I didn't have black dolls at all. Um, and so there's something that happens when you see yourself in your little person, and you're carrying this little person or this little pretend person everywhere. And when you can see yourself, it does something to your self-esteem. It makes you feel like, oh my gosh, I count.
So Shira, let's bring you in here. How did you guys get connected? What's the story there?
Aniqua and I go back, way back. So I'm the brand ambassador for Lion Brand Yarn, and I actually had a streaming web series called Tea with Shira. We actually just wrapped the 6th season and the final season, and it was on YouTube, our Lion Brand Yarn YouTube channel. And Aniqua and I got connected because I love to interview people that were in the yarn crafting space. And I remember, and we laugh about it still, the interview that we had, I just sat there with my mouth open on the floor and just watching and looking at these dolls that were so stunning and so every detail. And she talked about how she used some of our yarns because they really related to skin colors, and they were the most realistic skin colors that she could find. And ultimately what ended up happening is that we worked with Aniqua over the past year to create skin tones, which, to quote Aniqua, and Aniqua, I've been doing this since you've come on the She Show, which is another live streaming show that I have on our Lion Brand Facebook page, is she said that there are 12 nudes. And I think that that's a really interesting way to put it. They go with any skin tone out there. They can match your skin tone. They can bring out your skin tone. And that's, we kind of played on, you have a yarn skein. So you have skein tones. That was our little ha 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 ha. But I think not only this yarn line of skein tones was to kind of fill that gap that was missing in the market. And Aniqua worked with us and we worked with her to really find what was missing so we could fill that gap, and that there could be more inclusivity when there are dolls being made, or even when there are garments being made, because it's not just a doll yarn.
Well, where can you get these dolls, and are they custom made individually, or can you just go on and buy them? Where can we find out more if we want to get one?
So I am on Etsy. I also have a website that'll lead you to my Etsy shop. You can get custom, complete 100% custom orders where you can pick all the attributes, the hair, clothing, eye color, because in some cases I also hand paint the eyes. But you can also get limited customs, which are designs that are ready made to ship, just whimsical designs that I've come up with that I just was like, oh, I want to make this and I think this will be cute. So as you can see behind me, I have a whole bunch of little people just hanging out.
This you are incredibly talented. Wow. I mean, these are really, sometimes when people make dolls, they can look a little, the eyes are, too big, or I love these and all of your other items too. Oh my gosh, I know what I want for Mother's Day. Now I'm going to start. I'm going to
Aniqua,
on Etsy.
yeah, Aniqua, do you make these by yourself,
Yeah.
or do you have help? So how long does it take you to make a doll?
So it depends on the details. There are details that are extremely time consuming, but I do also crochet very fast. And so they can take anywhere from 8 hours to a hairstyle can just be 8 hours by itself.
Wow.
It depends on the details.
Wow, that's incredible.
I love that. Can I ask you, what has your feedback been once people find you and they've been able to get the dolls?
Oh my gosh, I get such great feedback. Like I said earlier, one of my favorite things to hear is when someone's like, "Oh my gosh, this looks like my daughter," or "Me and my daughter was scrolling your Instagram, and we have like five that we're like trying to decide between." Or "This looks like me" is the biggest compliment ever because it makes me think of being a little girl and not necessarily having that in the beginning. And when I finally got a doll that looked like me, there was a whole different kind of feeling attached to that. And the self esteem that goes with understanding that, oh my gosh, look, that's me. There's me, or there's something that I can relate to. It means a great deal.
I mean, when you think about how much time people will take creating an avatar themselves, right? And then when you have young children who want to have a doll, and when they see it, it's like, oh my gosh, this really does look like me. You're right, like that positive, that self-esteem. So many young people who are talking about, they're feeling down and they're isolated. And when you can find something that looks like you, it makes you feel really special. Like, look at this. This looks just like me.
And when you can ask for specific details, like I love glitter. I try to put glitter on everything.
Well, yeah.
And so when someone makes a request and they're like, oh my gosh, she loves glitter and she loves dancing. Is there any way you can incorporate that? And I'm like, heck yeah. So that's super exciting.
That is so cool. That's amazing. So we have both of your websites up on ours, njonair.com, if anyone wants to check you out. And so here we are. So lionbrand.com.
Check it out. See all of the different dolls. You can make them custom however you want. I like how you can also personalize them for interests as well, and hairstyles. I'm looking at the ones behind you and I'm like, oh, they're just so happy. It just makes you smile.
They are.
Yeah, right? It's like, it just makes you happy.
They were made with absolute love and purpose.
I can feel that. Is that weird? I can actually, I can feel that. And I can see the two of you, that partnership that you have, with Shira and that being able to work together, women, entrepreneurs, not only doing what they love and enjoy, but, working together, collaborating together to spread more excitement and more love out there.
It's been an honest honor to work with Aniqua and her creativity. And I think like the biggest thing for me is that when I sat with her initially and I met her and she was showing me her dolls, and for me, being a girl with curly hair, a lot of dolls didn't look like me. And I think that, we really kind of also being curvy girls and being real women. And I think that just having people like Aniqua, like myself, kind of going out there and kind of breaking that norm is really important. And that's what Lion Brand wanted to do. Lion Brand did that with Aniqua, and we are just so excited to partner with her. And honestly, I have no idea what's up next, but I'm excited. I have no idea. Aniqua's so creative, and we're so appreciative of her collaboration.
Well, I am just so grateful that both of you took the time to speak with us and share your gifts and your talents. And we're going to have links to both of your websites and your shops up on NJ On Air. And we thank you so much for both coming on to talk to us. And we wish you a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you both.